Hello and welcome back to Hadoop Exam Learning Resources. In this series, we are going to now discuss question number 21 for AWS Solution Architect Professional Level Exam. So now let me go to question directly for 21 and then we will come back to the explanation and more discussion. So quicktechie.com INC, you have two departments, admin and HR. Both have AWS accounts, correct? So let me draw at the same time while we discuss basically. So quicktechie INC has a two department. One is a admin department and another is a HR department, correct? So this two department, this is admin department account and this is HR department account. You work as a technical member with admin department, so you are working as this technology department. Here HR department has their own VPC and similarly admin, so they have their own VPC account here basically, and this is their own VPC, both have. Now as an admin you wish to make a VPC peering with HR VPC to enable the flow of traffic between the peer VPC, admin and HR using private IP address. You have to do what? So now you wanted to establish a VPC peering connection between these two VPC. You are working here as a technology person in this admin department. So what you would need to do? So let me go to notes now directly and then we will basically discuss more on that. So here it says about setting up a VPC connection. To establish a VPC peering connection, the owner of the requester VPC, like you are requesting, correct? So you are requesting here, so you are a requester here, okay, and send a request to owner of the peer VPC to create a VPC peering connection. So you would send a request to HR department VPC. The peer VPC can be owned by you or another AWS account. It is possible like both. It's like technically it is possible you can have two VPC, but here in this situation it's a different account altogether. The owner of the peer VPC has to accept your VPC connection request to activate the VPC peering connection. So whatever request you send, this site, whoever is working, has to accept this request, okay. To enable the flow of traffic between peer VPCs using private IP addresses, correct? So this would happen using a private IP addresses. This VPC connection would happen private IP addresses and a route to one or more of the VPC's route table that points to that IP address range of this VPC. So corresponding route table you have to configure here, correct? Basically whatever route table is attached here, you need to configure that route table as well accordingly, correct? Even both sides you need to configure. The owner of the peer VPC adds a route on one of their VPC route table and that points to IP address range of your VPC, okay. So that is what both the route table needs to be configured here basically. So if you see here and here, that needs to be configured. The owner of the requester VPC send a request to the owner of the acceptor VPC to create a VPC peering connection. The acceptor VPC can owned by you or another AWS account and cannot have CIDR block that overlaps with the requester VPC. So that is very important point. Now here your CIDR block of this VPC and CIDR block of this VPC should not be overlapping. Overlapping CIDR block create a confusion, correct, where to send a request. The owner of the acceptor VPC accept the VPC peering connection request to activate the VPC peering. To enable the flow of traffic between VPCs using private IP address, the owner of each VPC in the VPC peering connection must manually add a route to one or more of the VPC route tables that point to IP address range of this VPC, correct, we discussed. If required, update the security group rules that are associated with the instances. The traffic to and from peer is not restricted. So suppose the intent here is why do you want to make connection here, because whatever instance in this and this VPC you wanted to have a communication, and if you want to enable secure communication and proper, so then you have to basically security rules needs to be updated here, correct. They are also security rules needs to be updated accordingly based on your requirement, correct, what you wanted to do. If require, update security group, okay, to ensure top traffic from and via VPC not rest. If both VPC are in the same region, you can reference a security group from the peer VPC as a source or destination of ingress or egress rules. So you need to understand the difference between ingress and uh, uh, ingress and egress, correct. So that is what you need to basically. So this is like inbound traffic and this is outbound traffic. It means rules in your security groups you need to understand. The default VPC peering connection options. If EC2 instance on either side of the VPC peering connection address each other using public DNS hostname, the hostname resolved to the public IP address of the instances. To change this behavior, enable DNS hostname resolution of your VPC connection. So you need to enable this if you are using public IP address. After enabling DNS hostname resolution, if instance on either side of VPC peering connection address each other using public DNS hostname, they can point to each other and hostname resolves to the private IP address of the instances. So basically, instead of IP addresses, you wanted to basically use hostname, then also you can do this using hostname as well. It is possible, correct. That is what. Now let's go to the question what we need to do to make a VPC peering connection. So add a route on one or more of your admin VPC route table that points to the IP address range of the peer VPC. Obviously you need to do the owner of the peer VPC HR adds a route to the one of their VPC route tables that points to the IP address range of your VPC. So this is also correct. For peering VPC, private addresses are not supported. This is obviously not at all correct answer, correct. So answer is 1 and 2 both. So if I submit it, then it should give you the correct answer. So that's what about you need to understand how to set up a VPC peering connection. So this is more about setting up the VPC peering connection. So that's all about question number 21 for AWS Professional. Thanks for watching, and I'm stopping now. If you're watching on YouTube, don't forget to subscribe it, and please visit hadoopexam.com for more detail on the question and answers. Thanks, and I'm stopping now. Hello, in this video I'll tell you how to convert a long text into MP3 file or in OGZ format, and which you can download as well. For that you would be using a software provided by quicktechie.com. So now let me show you the features and what all can be done using this software. So let me start here. Even before I start, I wanted to show you this software is provided by quicktechie.com and this is their website. This is the website which you need to go to and download this software. So let's start with the features. You can download your text converted into MP3 or OGZ format, whatever text you have converted in any language which is supported by utility, and whatever voice rate you want to change. Virtually there is no limit because we are using here Google Voices to convert your text into voice. So Google has there a limit with 5000 characters in each request, but we have created this software such a way there is no limit. You can create as big as text file and you can convert into a single MP3 file. What we do basically, we submit multiple requests if there is a more than 5000 characters in each request, and then we accumulate the result and finally gives one MP3 file or OGG file. Voice tuning, personalize. You can change the pitch of the voices as per your need. There are different 20 semitones and 4 times faster speeds, etc. You can set up on this using this tool. Highly secure. Every communication between your machine and Google Cloud happens on encrypted manner. So this is a highly secure and it is being done using Google Cloud credentials only. There are 40 plus different languages supported and 250 different voices. Operating system, this software can work on Windows, Unix and Mac OS. So now pricing. So you need to get a subscription from quicktechie.com. So this is the website where you need to get the subscription basically annually and semi-annual subscription for using this software. That is one thing. Once you subscribe the software, there is no character limit, no basically other limit until your subscription expires. So we have a subscription of 6 months and 12 months. So you can subscribe this. Other thing which Google has basically their own prices for conversion of text to speech basically. So but if you see up to 4 million character for a standard or non-wavenet voices, it's absolutely free for each month. So 4 million characters is equal to, you can imagine, is almost 10 textbook in general. This would equivalent to that. Correct. And Google Cloud provides up to 1 million character text to speech conversion for WebNet voices, which is high quality voices, free for 1 month, absolutely free. And if you are using Google trial version of 90 days, the $300 is also free to use. So this is a much cheaper solution compared to anything which is available online text to mp3 conversion or something. Those has the limitations, how many characters you can send in each request, how much you can download this, how monthly limit they have, kind of thing. There is, once you subscribe this software, until your subscription expires, there's no limit. You can convert as many character as you want. So that is what the pricing perspective. Now let's move to the customer base for this this tool which quicktechie has, audiobooks converter. So like most of the people now started converting textbook into the audiobooks, and they wanted to listen it and kind of things, and